What up? What up? Millennial pause at the beginning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday after the Super Bowl, y'all. I am bloated. I just got to say that. I'm bloated. I ate a lot of salt yesterday. My rings aren't fitting. I don't know. Did you catch the Super Bowl yesterday, Josh?
Yeah, I watched it. It's I would agree. The Super Bowl is more of like a eating holiday. I don't follow the NFL that closely anymore, so it's just like background to eating.
What did you have any good snacks?
My friend did barbecue. He smoked like ribs and chicken, and another friend brought little smokies, which is like the classic Super Bowl snack that I haven't had in like a decade probably.
I really wanted. I saw someone had pigs in a blanket, and I was like, why didn't I make pigs in a blanket? I did. I made the Ina Garten caramelized onion dip. So that was
Nice.
lovely. Had
Yeah.
that with like chips and veggies and was just like pretty much just didn't have dinner, just had snacks. Anyway, no one cares. Welcome to everybody who is watching. This is Mogul Moves Weekly. I'm the host, Luigi, and this is my co-host, Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Hello.
We talk all things Mogul by Movie Pass and movie culture. We'll start off here by just going over this weekend's not projection, sorry, performance. I bet this, oh yeah, it says performance. You guys might notice if you haven't watched before, but the format's a little different. We're making it easier for people who are on mobile.
Vertical friendly.
Vertical, the future.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a quiet weekend. I think expectedly with the Super Bowl. We saw pretty good traffic on Friday and Saturday, and Sunday was obviously super quiet. The kind of the movers this week, the stories. I think the one that jumped out to me the most as an overperformer was actually Solo Mio. We talked about it a little bit. It's Angel Studios, which I don't know. It feels like everything they put out tends to overperform. It seems like almost like A24, where they just know their audience really well and know what their people want to see and kind of continue to capitalize on that. So Solo Mio was like 7.2 million, which is a couple million ahead of any of the projections I saw. There was a new K-pop documentary called Stray Kids: The Dominate Experience.
I think I have that next, not this slide.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
The Mover.
That did 5.5 million, which is very solid for a one weekend open. You had Dracula in there, which we've also been talking about, 4.5 million. The Strangers, kind of quiet, 3.5 million, but I think about in line with what we were expecting. And then some of the holdovers, Shelter, Avatar, Zootopia in the mix, and Send Help and Iron Lung kind of at the top of the holdover list from last weekend. It's sort of I think kind of it was the calm before the storm weekend. We all know Wuthering Heights is coming next weekend, which is going to be pretty huge. And I think there's a lot of fun releases through the rest of February, which is kind of atypical. I think historically we've looked at like the January, February, and even March months as being quieter, but it feels like big studios are kind of spacing out releases more. And so there's some good stuff coming in February.
Nice. Yeah. On the Solo Mio point, I did see a TikTok. Some creator was like at the Super Bowl and he was like, wait, why is Kevin James behind me? And it was just Kevin James with like a bouquet of roses, like white roses. And he was just like deadpan staring out into space. I mean, obviously it was like sponsored content, but I thought it was so funny. I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, they had the budget to send, they either had the budget to send Kevin James just to the Super Bowl and like coordinated with this creator to like do this video, in which case you're like, it's kind of better than a Super Bowl commercial, definitely a lot cheaper. Or they're like doing some kind of partnership. I don't really know. Probably not. I'm assuming it's the latter, or the former rather. So interesting stuff. Lots of movie Super Bowl crossover, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too.
That is pretty smart and interesting. Like like taking a social angle on the Super Bowl rather than just paying for an ad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like we're all going to be watching this anyway. Like if social is the new TV, might as well capitalize on it. There were lots of good brands that did that, and definitely a lot of movies kind of capitalizing on it. And we'll talk about it soon. Since their stars were already going to be at the Super Bowl, so why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to our next segment here, pick, hold, drop. What are your thoughts for this week? Josh, you can start us off.
I mean, on the pick front, I think there's a pretty obvious choice. Wuthering Heights. I think if you're, not holding that this weekend, that would be kind of silly. It's going to perform pretty well, and I think it will probably, if anything, I think it'll overperform. Like just the amount of marketing that they've done is absolutely crazy, and I have a feeling it'll pay off. It's the same director as Saltburn, right?
Yeah, same director as Saltburn, who has obviously taken Jacob Elordi under his wing. It's produced by Margot Robbie's production company, who also produced Saltburn. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I can't remember, but it's that same production company. I feel like they definitely have like a specific audience. This is definitely like maybe even wider and more like and less like niche. I think Saltburn was a little bit more niche. This guy, they're definitely putting ad spend behind it, and lots of controversy around whether or not the affair between Margot and Jacob Elordi is real. We shall see, but it's working. We know that people are talking about it, and people are either outraged or like really excited to see it happen.
Yeah, I think maybe there's some other like low key picks. I think that will be interesting. Goat is like the basketball one from the studio of Into the Spider-Verse. I'm kind of interested to see how that will do. And there's the one that you've been talking about a little bit with Sam Rockwell. Good luck, have fun, don't die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that basketball movie isn't it produced by Steph Curry?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So there's some good crossover there with sports and movies too. Like people loved it, and I loved Into the Spider-Verse. That was like one of my favorite movies that year. I feel like that was like right coming out of the pandemic. I feel like
the first one is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I love that movie.
I know. Really, the second one really left me hanging. I was like, oh my god, I need to know what happens next.
Yeah, totally.
So, all right, I think I'm the same. Pick is probably Wuthering Heights. I'd hold on to maybe Send Help for another weekend. I don't know. I feel like maybe still have some juice to squeeze out of that. And then drop. I don't know. What is there to drop right now? Not really.
I think the things that people would think to drop, they've probably already dropped. Sort of just like typical like January inventory shuffling. Like if you were holding any of the Christmas releases, Marty Supreme, stuff like that. 28 years later, 28 something later, Bone Temple, and I think I'm probably holding. I guess I'm holding Solo Mio. I think maybe that might have some carryover into the next week.
Look at that. Love it. All right, moving on. Our next segment is our trending segment. So lots obviously happening over the Super Bowl. Everything that I've put on here is stuff that happened during the Super Bowl. So there's been a ton of cultural crossover with movies and the Super Bowl, as there always is. But I think in this world of like social media, like everything's very social media ready and ready to like get views and people talking about them. One of them, really smart, go to nostalgia, Goodwill Duncan, was essentially like a kind of spoof remake of the Goodwill Hunting scene, the famous one that's like, how do you like them apples? Instead of apples, obviously, Jennifer Aniston. I don't know. So Jennifer Aniston's coming in and I'm like, that's not Jennifer Aniston's face. And apparently they just like redid everyone's face with CGI to make them all look younger.
Yeah, it looked wild.
I was like, this is crazy. Anyway, the last line of it was not how do you like them apples? It's how do you like them nuts? Like as in nuts. I was LOLing at. I thought that was a really well done commercial.
I've been seeing it talked about as like the best commercial and like the worst commercial, which as far as PR goes,
All you can
means
ask.
it was well executed.
Exactly. Speaking of, movies capitalizing on the fact that their stars were in attendance at the Super Bowl, we had none other than Iron Man himself showing up wearing a Doomsday jersey. I mean, genius marketing, guys. Like, he's going to be there. Eyeballs are already going to be on him. Why not stick him in some movie themed merch? I want this jersey.
Yeah, they need to sell that.
I'm sure they will.
Even more free marketing. Yeah.
So RDJ, while I'm annoyed to see you back in the Avengers world and universe, I'm fine with this because you're doing it in an intelligent way. So anyway, this was more of a teaser to the Super Bowl. So we had Ryan Gosling promoting Project Hail Mary, very anticipated film, by throwing a football through the hole of Randy's Donuts. If you guys don't know Randy's Donuts in LA, super iconic, like huge donut symbol building. Lots of online chatter about whether or not this is real. I'm like, if you guys think this is real, you really need to start thinking about like your judgment, and you're probably the same people believing like when AI videos are like out there. It's like a person. It's like a polar bear and like an orca whale like being friends. I'll get like messages from like my older aunts and uncles that are like, "Oh my god, look at this!" And it's like a tiger cub and like a baby, and they're like playing patty cake. I'm like, you guys, it's AI. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, you have to have Uncle Rico level delusions from Napoleon Dynamite to think you can actually throw a football that far.
Exactly. But I thought it was really smart, very clever use of kind of Super Bowl. Wasn't even at the Super Bowl in this, right? He's just like nodding to the fact that it's happening over the Super Bowl. Kind of genius. Whatever agency came up with that, good for you.
Did it play anywhere during the Super Bowl?
It did, yeah. The trailers played during the Super Bowl. There were like 6 pretty highly anticipated trailers. I'm going to post them onto our social. We haven't gotten them yet, but I'll put them on there. It was like Disclosure Day.
I saw that one.
Mary, Hopper.
Yeah.
I saw the Supergirl commercial or trailer play. I saw, what else did I see?
There wasn't a Toy Story trailer, was there?
No, but I didn't see that. It might have. I was like kind of in and out of paying attention, really. But there was a moment in a Levi's commercial. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah.
The Levi's commercial had Woody wearing Levi's.
The one with Doechii, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it was like a bunch of different kind of Levi's butts, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the butts was Woody's. And I was like, wait, that's so smart. Like,
yeah.
They're just
an iconic ass.
Yeah. They're trying to get in your head, guys. They're trying to get in your head, and they did it. That was something I noticed, very if you know, you know moment. Loved that commercial too. I mean,
it was good.
They're playing at Levi's Stadium, so you had to
Mm-hmm.
do that. I'm sure they did a huge ad buy. All right, let's move on. Mogul polls. There are a couple that we haven't. Here are a couple that we haven't gone over yet. Those of you who have voted, congrats. If you haven't, you can head to mogulgame.moviepass.com. There's a 100K prize pool. It's free to play. You can do polls. You can create your teams, draft your picks, and score based on real world data. The first poll here that we're going to go over, I think this one's a no-brainer. Who will win Best Actress in Leading Role at the 2026 Oscars? Jessie Buckley winning this poll by a landslide, obviously. Duh.
Yeah, huge favorite. I think it would be an absolute shock if anyone else won it at this point. Yeah, that movie was lovely.
Kate Hudson, you don't even belong in this poll. Like, get out of here. I love her, but I'm like, no.
Not for the Neil Diamond movie.
No. We got the next one, who will win Best Director at the 2026 Oscars. So the poll is showing Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, which is my pick because I love her and I want her to win. Close second here is Paul Thomas Anderson, who I think is the favored winner for One Battle After Another. I'm curious, what are the Vegas odds on this? Do you know? Can you pull it up?
Best Director
2026 Oscars. I wonder if it's even close or if most people are picking PTA.
I would definitely think PTA is the favorite. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like he's a pretty heavy favorite.
Okay.
50 to 1.
So Moguls, I'm sorry, wishful thinking, but I don't think that's going to happen. PTA looks like he's probably going to take it, but you never know. It would be a huge upset, right?
Ryan Coogler and Chloe Zhao are number 2 and 3. So
Okay.
I mean, we've got the top 3 right. I appreciate the optimism, but yeah, it kind of feels like PTA might have this one in the bag.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know if has he won a Best Director before. That's crazy.
Nope.
He didn't win for. I mean, famously, There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men came out the same year.
Yes.
I'm guessing he lost out to the Coen brothers that year.
Hold on, let me just verify this.
Yeah, the Coens did win Best Director in 2008.
Famously, he has never won an Academy Award. That's crazy.
Damn. Nothing for Phantom Thread is crazy.
Did that not win anything? I love that movie.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I think it's his time. I think the industry probably agrees. Anywho, moving on. So those are the polls. If you haven't yet, you can participate. You can let your voice be heard. It's really the only place democracy is still alive.
It's the last beacon of democracy.
All right, let's go over the leaderboard for Mogul this week. We got some movement here. Foxtrot, you got knocked out of first place by
Damn.
Aeon Pratam. And then the other 3 kind of stayed the same. Still some movement happening. There's still a chance to win, guys. You can always, if you hit the predictions right, or rather, if you have the right team, there's still ways to win. The season goes till Memorial Day. That's May 26th. So you have time. Head to mogulgame.moviepass.com. Again, 100K prize pool, free to play for now. Get into it. All right, we'll see you guys on Thursday.
See ya.
Bye.
Have a good one.